Hi. So I would like to give a little overview of logging and maybe a little bit of evals with Braintrust. And so this isn't going to be a full tutorial. There's going to be docs you need to look up to replicate this. I'm just going to give a kind of a tour, and we're going to move quickly and going to give you a sense of what's possible in the tool, or at least some of what's possible. And so to start, we need some kind of AI application. And so I've made a little node OpenAI agents fortune teller. And so I can ask it, will I enjoy my lunch tomorrow? Let's see what it says. It's going to take a second to do a call here. Oh no. Oh no. The experience will not be as delightful as I hoped. Okay. What is this doing under the hood? What's going on here is that I'm using the OpenAI agents library to define an agent. And all it does is it calls this magic 8-ball tool when it's asked a question. And the magic 8-ball tool returns a random string from this list of strings. And then it uses that result to generate output that it gives back to me. And so this is the simplest example I could think of that still uses some piece of information that is random and is not coming from the user prompt. It is not coming from the LLM. And so it's not controlled by what I put in. And so I'm also using Braintrust, and I'm importing the Braintrust library and the OpenAI agents tracing processor. And so I'm logging this to my project by making these calls over here. And so when I do that, I can go to the UI, and this is the most recent log. And you can see here, this is the response we got. And so we can kind of dig in here. So this is three parts. The first part is me asking the question, and the output is the LLM wants to use the magic 8-ball tool. Then here's the actual call, and you can see that the tool returned outlook not so good. And then here, based on that response, you can see that this is the output. And so if I wanna run this again, I can do try prompt, and you can see the tool output here, and then I can test it. And it kind of regenerates it. It calls OpenAI again. And it already has this tool cached, and it gives me a new answer. So what if I want to iterate on my tool and I want to do it with someone else? I'd have to give them the code. I'd have to give them keys. I'd go into the prompt, edit the system prompt, log it. Maybe it would generate a new random string. So from the magic 8-ball, it'd be hard to compare. Let's do that in here. So in here, I can actually save this prompt. So I'm going to call this my prompt. And I'm going to save this as a custom prompt. Then I can go edit it. So here we go. You can see it here. And what we can do here is we can edit it, or we can add it to a playground, and we can kind of experiment and see if we can change something. So I'm going to click the plus playground button, and you can see my prompt here, and I can run it, and then you will see the new output. So then I can do things like I can edit the system prompt, and I'm going to say, you talk like a pirate at all times. And if I run that, yeah, a storm is brewing in my culinary waters. Excellent. Okay. And then I can, instead of this, I can say, will it rain tomorrow? And then I can run that. And it says, stormy day. All right. But this is somewhat annoying. I don't want to do this by hand. If I want to compare a lot of different things, it's going to be a pain. And so I can automate some of this. So, and I can do that through datasets. So let's go to a dataset. We're going to create one, and we're going to say fortune teller questions. Great. Okay. It's empty. I could import a CSV that I get from somewhere. But for now, I'm just going to use our AI tool. And I used this before, but I'm just going to do this again and populate this data set with 10 examples of questions that someone would ask a fortune teller. Here we go. What can I expect in the coming year? Okay, let's say these should be yes or no questions. Okay, let's take these. All right, perfect. So here we go. Then I can go back to my prompts, and I can go to my fortune teller prompt, and I can add another playground. And here, instead of editing this stuff by hand, I can select a data set. So I can select my fortune teller questions. And instead of this here, I can do input. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the input column and it's going to put it into this user prompt here. So now I can run that. And so now we have this automated thing. So will I find love this year? Yeah, keep your heart open. Will I have good luck next month? Looks like no. And that's because this tool call that's in here says Outlook not so good. So this is a way of controlling for things in your application that can go different every time. So when Outlook is not so good, I can generate these outputs based on my data set, and I can control what the output is. Alternately, I could add things in the metadata for this data set, and I can have output in the tool return, and maybe I don't vary the questions, or I vary the questions and the tool output kind of independently and try to compare. And so this is just a really simple way of pulling out a piece of your application and kind of running it through whatever tests you want in a really structured way. There's more that you can do here that I won't go into super much. So for example, you could do experiments, and you can do this prompt, and then you can select your data set, and you can select LLM as a judge, humor, and then you could try this. And then kind of runs all of these, and then this is kind of silly. It thinks they're all very funny because talking like a pirate is the funniest thing to LLMs. And so again, there's a lot more to this, but I'm hoping this gave you a good overview of kind of some areas to explore when you're working with your own tools that are instrumented in Braintrust and kind of things you can explore. All right. Bye.